It's gonna be like 300. Alright, hopefully the audio levels are okay. Usually I have better luck with my headset on Skype than anything else, and hopefully the lag is okay too. So, let's get into it, alright, for Dragon. Game number 2, it's on Overgrowth. In the bottom left, as the purple Zerg, it's SKT's Dark.
And up in the top right-hand corner, we got the one and only CJ Antis herO.
Yeah, so, did you catch any of that last game?
I caught the very, very end of it,
Okay.
and also I'm going to let you know right now that I actually don't have an observer interface set for Korea. So I'm observing with the standard default
Yes.
StarCraft interface. I'm just like, what? I haven't, of course, because I'm a caster, so I don't ever play the game. I haven't seen this for years.
God, yeah. I hate when that happens. Actually, I think I've successfully done everything, every region, but I know the pain, man. I know the pain. Well, that last game, there was like a point where herO lost like 6 stalkers and couldn't take a third. So his mid game was kind of screwed up, and it just, you know, that late game was a hard one to work out afterwards. So, and Mutas, am I right? Protoss player here.
Oh my
god. You know the pain.
Oh god, Mutalist.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Mutalist so much. But
yeah.
Ooh, we actually have a Forge First coming out of herO. Did he go for a similar thing last game?
No. He went for a gateway expand. You know, I kind of want to attribute this, though. I know apparently the last game was the first game you saw. herO also had a very unlucky, you know, poor game, right? Like, it's obviously he's a great player, as always, but versus Classic, just, you know, he GG'd after, like, very, like, abruptly, you know? Like, one thing went wrong, and he was like, I'm not going to try and salvage this. So, he might be feeling a little frustrated right now. I don't know, but had he gotten a free cannon rush win, that would have been, you know, tempo back in his favor.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, Dark did go for the spawning pool first, and really interesting placement on the spawning pool. It is so far out there. I wonder what on earth he could be planning with that, or thinking with that.
Wait, I was so close that clicking on it didn't chance me to it. Yeah, you're right. That is very far away. I don't know.
I don't think it'll come into play, but I mean,
right?
It's just very interesting, right? It feels vulnerable.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, usually the case is always been made that if you put it somewhere in the mineral line, at least some parts of it are protected from the Zealot attack. You know, wrapping around a spawning pool, that thing will die instantly with +2, +3 Zealots.
Yeah. I'm almost wondering, like, if the Cannon Rush actually did successfully get started, could he have started to Cannon Rush that spawning pool from the low ground? But, I mean, it's all a moot point. It's not actually going to happen, and we're going to see the hatcheries go up.
Sorry. Oh, that would have been hilarious, though. I mean, cannons? They might have, man. I don't know.
Dude, never underestimate the power of cannons. Unless the Protoss player is actually not going for cannons, and he's just going for the standard expansion play right now, as we end up seeing herO do.
Yeah. Let's check in, guys. Is the audio okay? Question mark. Okay, cool. Everything works out, man. Perfect.
That's amazing. That never happens.
I know,
that
right?
Never happens.
Thank Jesus. Alright, so cool. Yeah, I just got back, like, solo casting. I've not done solo casting since, like, URTL, right? So, like, 2 years now.
Oh my god, such a long time ago.
Right? So I was finally getting back into the groove, and now I gotta get adjusted back to, like, letting other people talk. Oh, what is this?
Oh, so difficult, such hard life.
I know, life is very hard.
It's all good. But, you know, I really like the fact that it's a small thing that we see happen really, really often. But I really like when Zerg players, they have their natural expansion blocked and they have they went for the spawning pool first. They just go for the third immediately because it's going to be really nice for getting that creep spread out there on that right-hand side. Because that's honestly the most often pathway that a Protoss player will go for any kind of assault on to the third base, right? It's that right-hand side.
The Zealot is having serious life problems. Where do I go? Where do I don't know. I don't know where I go. It's like not even on patrol either. There it goes.
Oh my god.
I don't know what was up with that, but I mean, he could have maybe gotten 2 drones if he was lucky. You know, Dark wasn't paying attention for the price of that Zealot. I guess he wants to see if Lings pop out. Whoa! Oh, never mind.
Oh, I wonder if he was waiting for, like, the Zerglings to be across the map and then move in with the Zealot. No, it looks like he's just kind of moving back and forth, kind of getting some scouting information off. But Stargate just finished up, so we'll end up seeing the Oracle pop out and see how much damage it can actually do.
Yeah, that was not scouted by Dark either. The Oracle, I mean, obviously you have anti-air defense already as a Zerg player, Queens, but the problem is that an Oracle still does get like 6 drones, even with a Queen attacking it. It's pretty speedy like that, so definitely want a Spore Crawler.
Yeah, Oracles are super duper annoying, but you know, with a couple of Queens, well, actually only has 3 Queens out. Yeah, so Queens will like eventually repel the Oracle, but it's almost guaranteed to get a little bit of damage done. Behind this, herO going to be going for that 3rd expansion, but probe already positioned here for Dark, going to spot this 3rd being taken.
Yeah, very nice. He could, and he is actually. Dark could definitely make a couple of units with that speed, a couple of roaches as well, and go ahead and try and deny that 3rd. And it is quite difficult to hold on to. This Oracle didn't get too much damage done. Yep, 3 kills, but it sees the units on the way, and that's you know, important too. I can't say that he'll decide to cancel, but he does, so never mind.
Oh, you can't say it exactly, Zombie Grub, but you're damn correct. And the Void Ray going to be coming out from that Stargate, going to be very, very important for that hold that's going to be coming. Once the Roach get over there, it's going to be so unbelievably helpful, but for now, he's going to be relying on force fields and the consistent damage from that Mothership Core.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if he had opened up a little bit differently, I don't know, that was, I think that was definitely the better choice. Overgrowth just has, like...
poor Stalker.
Oh, God,
this
yeah.
Is Stalker trapped with the 3rd.
It has this wide open area that, you know, you need a lot of force fields, or you just need to just kind of give up and be like, if I use a force field now, they won't be here later anyways, so let me just stay in my base.
Yeah, that's always a really frustrating decision to make as a Protoss player. It's like, oh god, if I use these force fields now, I have warped in only sentries, so I can't actually be aggressive anymore because I have a bunch of useless units right now.
Yeah. He does try and take that 3rd again. I mean, he's had, you know, 2, 3 production rounds plus a Void Ray, which he got immediately in that last game. But again, with mostly Lings, it can only help out so much. For instance, as you can see here, if they wrap around the Nexus, it goes down. It's very similar to like ZDZ in that aspect. Like, you just got to give it up at that point.
Yeah, and this is becoming problematic right now for herO. I mean, the Oracle's still trying to do a little bits and pieces of damage, but I mean, he sees the 4th expansion. You don't want to be behind 2 expansions from a Zerg player. This 3rd expansion has been so heavily delayed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very similar to the last game. Except, you know, this game he didn't actually lose any units. Of course, having that 3rd so delayed, I mean, it's going to finish up at, like, what, 12:30? It's still terrible, but at least he has all of his units, his sentries are gathering energy, and he has that Oracle still alive, you know? So he can see if the army gets bigger, or if the army isn't getting bigger, he can have maybe the peace of mind to say, okay, then what is he doing? Is he going Spire, Hive, Swarm Hosts, and get back into that main?
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's been doing. He's constantly been sending it in and getting good scouting information. It looks like he's going to be going for attack. He does want to put some kind of pressure on. These Zerglings could be coming in or setting up for a flank, but for now they're just going to be picking off those proxy pylons, making sure that this attack does not get its feet in the ground.
Yeah, this proxy pylon is obviously very good, and this is without a militia core, guys. Usually pokes like this are not... You can't really call them an all-in, even if there's like a bunch of gateways and no probes to the 3rd, because there's always a recall available. But in this situation, I mean, the Void Ray is the strongest units he's got, and even that can be targeted down by a couple of Queens.
Yeah, the awkward thing here also is that even if he does have the recall available, does he really want to use it? I mean, I feel like he really wants to get something done over here.
Yeah. Let's say Phoenix wants to see what the army is looking like, or maybe he's expecting a bunch of mutas. Does see the Invitation Pit and the Spire? And the Spire, okay. It's always hard to say, though. Like, they can afford both, but choose only one, you know? And it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
What are they going to get?
Yeah, kind of side note, but it's worth mentioning, herO actually up to +2 weapons, getting +3 weapons. And you take a look at exactly where Dark's upgrades are. You got 0-0 on the Zerglings, you got +1 missile attacks on the Roaches, but I mean, not a whole lot of upgrades actually going out for Dark, so that's definitely going to be favoring herO, especially with those Zerglings going to get absolutely decimated.
Yeah. That was, these are almost like a four fake mutas. Wow, 4 fake useful mutas.
Very useful. Yeah, right. No, this is all part of the plan, Zombie Grub. He knew that he was gonna just find this warp prism out in the middle of nowhere.
Dang. Oh, that's really good, because that was gonna be a 2-pronged attack here, and that could have been a lot harder to deal with. But herO gets in here, and the militia core is with the army this time, so he will snipe that 3rd, and he will just run. Partially because he has to protect his own 3rd.
Yeah, and actually doesn't lose too much over its own third. He's even going to be able to chase down a lot of these roaches with the Blink Stalkers. Oh, I love this play from herO. Going to be able to get a nice little bit of picking off from that side. And oh my god, Oracle running from the Mutals on the right-hand side of the map.
Oh god. Oh, run, little buddy!
No,
Okay.
it stopped! Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, that was a really bold blink forward, though. I mean, again, you have no idea what's behind it,
Yeah.
but in this situation, it's going to be Swarm Host. I do not believe that herO knows this like 100%, but he's only seen 4 Mutas his entire time, and he, like, in the back of the mind, he's going to think it's Swarm Host, Swarm Host, Swarm Host. So he has been producing 2 Colossus at a time. You want Colossus anyways, because you want to take care of the Lings and other units, but they're definitely going to be very important, of course, against the Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, and I've always had kind of this perspective on Swarm Host, and maybe you can share your kind of opinion on it, but I've always felt that you either have to kill a Swarm Host's player's economy immediately and just really, really hamper them early game, or you have to play the really, really late game, get Tempest and all that other kind of like High Templars, etc. up.
Yeah.
That one I feel like can be a little bit harder, but oh my god, the Mutalists, they're going to be caught out of position. The Mutals count has been half zombie grub.
Oh no!
Died.
Oh my god! Alert the police. This is still enough just to like keep on the left side though, and like look for that War Prism. Because of course, it's funny that like 4 Mutas in the beginning seems like so useless, but it's more anti-air, like mobile anti-air, than most Swarmos players ever have. Like until they're going up to like Corruptors and Combat Tempest. Like they're pretty stubborn about not getting that. They usually rely, of course, on static defense.
I mean, it makes a huge difference when your opponent is mainly relying on warping in Zealots for harassment. Look at this. This Warp Prism is going to be under attack from the Mutalists because it only ever warps in Zealots, so there's nothing ever to kill off those Mutalists. But here we end up seeing the big engagement. Force Fields go down in time, though.
Yeah. 2 Colossus isn't quite enough.
Well, the 4th expansion, Dark's 4th expansion, getting transfused. Zealot's focus firing it down. Actually, this is going to be kind of close. He's out of transfuses, though. It ends up going down.
That was so close. Oh, well.
I'm starting to like herO's position more and more as this goes on, but then I look at the numbers and I say, oh, well, Dark's actually building up a bank. Well, Dark still can take that gold expansion. I don't really know. How do you feel about this situation for how it's been playing out?
It is a good question. Really, Muta? You gonna try and go into the main? I guess he's trying to get scouting. Oh, that's funny.
The 1 Muta harassment. New meta.
It's a little too early to tell. Like, that harassment was really good, and he is, of course, going to try and continue with it. But, again, with foremost players, like, you're right. Like, he can take that 4th base back, and he can also take a 5th one with the gold. That's what happens. You go foremost. You bank up a lot of bank. So, he's actually going to go for a lot of Corruptors. Of course, probably for the Colossus. But with Storm finishing up and Archons underneath, it can be difficult.
It's definitely going to be a little bit weird. Swarm hosts are going to be able to buy a little bit of time, but I mean, look at this. There's enough Colossus out right now that you can start pushing on forward.
Yeah.
And
he might have wanted to go for static defense a little bit sooner. He has actually none to protect those swarm hosts, and while a couple of spine costs seem like a lot, 5 it makes you think maybe a little, twice before you actually go in there. There's harassment going on herO's 4th, but it's going to be cleaned up with the Ophoton Overcharge. This doesn't mean that the motion book event is not over here in case there was a pot. Usually you don't really have to. Well, actually, maybe in this case, Corruptors come in here and they are spread already, so the storms really aren't affecting them all that much, but they are not targeting Colossus as fast as maybe they should have. Now here they go.
Yeah, a fantastic kind of concave coming out from Dark, but unfortunately just not quite, I guess, the focus fire that you were talking about, as well as not quite the units that he needs. Swarmos are still alive, though, and going to be charging in with some of those waves of Locusts. Again, managed to sneak. A couple more Colossus kills, but, oh, God, this is looking to be a very dark situation for Dark.
Yeah, right? I love making those puns. And the Corruptors are finally starting to take down the Colossus, though, and honestly, a lot of Swarmos have not died. He's still on that 4th base, so really what he lost was forward positioning, but he did trade out army for it, and the supplies are still in favor of Dark. The bank are actually very even. And he's pushing forward entirely with Blink Stalkers. This might seem very bold, but with a low number of Locusts,
there's no observer!
Oh!
Wait, is there an observer?
No.
No, there is. Never mind. Okay.
Where?
Observer's parked over. It's parked
over
the
Swarm
Swarm
for the Swarm host.
Yeah.
Alright. So that is good enough.
He's not 1Aing with it like every other Protoss does.
But that is, you know, that was too many swarm hosts, and the roach backup just came in time that the blink stalkers wouldn't be able to do anything more. Like, sometimes you see situations where you just, you know, they're down to 6 swarm hosts, you just kind of go around them or over them, kill a third, get away. But the game goes on, and he will have to start his Colossus count back from 0. I mean, it was up to 6. You know, that was pretty high. It was pretty comfy, and now he's back down to just stalkers.
Yeah, and he also didn't take out a lot of the swarm hosts. Oh, it doesn't want to lose these stalkers, but yeah, he didn't take a lot of the swarm hosts, so he can't even really say something like, oh, well, I'll just try and make high Templars instead or something, and try and go for like a lot of storms, not really overcommit to reproducing this Colossus, but he really does need them to try and deal with these swarm host waves.
Oh, big warp in of Zealots into the main. There is some Thag defense, and the Corruptors do deal with the Warp Prism, but that is still a lot of Zealots. Meanwhile, the Roaches find the Stalkers, and herO has to run. We're just gonna go down to the main. Macro Hatchery? Maybe not the best thing to focus.
Well, he's going to go after the Hive Tech now, which I think is going to be pretty useful if you can actually get that down.
Oh, he's not going to. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's going to be targeted for the future, maybe, though.
Yeah, of course. Dark not playing that style where you get like a bajillion queens to cover your swarm host, so in fact, with only 2 queens, I mean, good thing he's relying on swarm host, right? They can be able to like reproduce anything with only 13 larvae. But definitely no transfuses. But Broodlords are on the way. I forgot to mention that Greater Spire was researching during that entire battle, and usually, like, at 23 minutes, if this was a very, very passive PvZ, we'd already see Tempest, but with how back and forth it's being, you know, herO has not had the time, nor really the money, to go up to those Stargates.
Yeah, it's going to be a very awkward situation, but we do end up seeing herO go for that big attack. Maybe you can hit before the swarm hosts are really in the correct position that they need to be. But hell, if Dark's on the defensive, I feel like he should be okay. He's even doing a nice little counterattack on the left-hand side, top left, but Dark Templar is going to be able to clean that up eventually.
Oh, there's actually counterattacks going everywhere, but yeah, the Broodlords, they're going to get blinked under, and Storm's going on everywhere. Archons are underneath the Corruptors as well. Where are the swarm hosts? Swarm hosts are so lazy. They're not helping at all.
Oh god, the Locust Wave pops way too late. All of the Broodlords, or at least a lot of them, have been taken out. 3 of them remain, but I feel like, is it okay for herO to keep charging on into the natural?
I think so.
Does he just go to the 3rd right now?
That's a good question. If he goes to the 3rd, the Locust will be catching up to him. With only 3 Colossus, that doesn't quite take down the Locust fast enough. Yeah. He has a recall.
I think he has to go home, right? Or he has to like at least walk around these swarm hosts.
Yeah, that's what he figures out to do. He could have gone for the natural and gotten some good tech structures, but getting the 4th, 5th base as the gold might be okay too. He himself is on 5 bases, so it is becoming more and more of an economy war.
Yeah, especially with that gas count from Dark. I mean, it's definitely dwindled quite a bit from when he had a nice little gas bank going up earlier, and you can see that herO, he's got plenty of gas to spare. It might not seem like it if you look at his resources, but he just warped in a huge wave of High Templar.
Yeah. Checking those upgrades a little bit late. It was 3-3 versus just 2-1. That definitely didn't help those roaches. So I really don't think Dark wanted to depend on roaches much at all, really. Remember they had to make those after a big engagement went down, and then, you know, they're not going to be that great as you start getting Archon Storms and Colossus. So
I actually feel like the way that Dark has been using the roaches is kind of just like, this is my mobile unit that's going to be able to deal with harassment. He uses it to deal with the Warp Prism harassment, uses it to harass his opponent, but hold that thought, we end up seeing Storms going down, warding off those Corruptors, and oh god, herO definitely taking a favorable side on this one.
Oh my god, again, those roaches are not helping as much as they could have. Storms go on the swarm host, that's it for Dark. That's great for herO, that is his first win in this tournament, guys.